Well, welcome again to another episode of the Brew. Jersey Joe here in Jersey City. Eye on the box over there in Vegas. We're talking about a big conversation this week. It's all about gun control. A lot of you guys had a lot to chime in online about that. We want to know, what do you think? What these changed? Is it scary? Is the government not doing enough? Or are they doing just enough? Join our live discussion right now and hit that little button down below and make a comment, or hit us up on Twitter later on. But Joe, let's start off with you. We got a lot to get to today on the show. What do you think about gun control and how things are being handled right now in Washington?
We should have addressed it like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're way, way behind everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, no, that's my thoughts exactly. It's they let it get out of hand and out of control so bad now that you have too many bad guys getting the guns in their hands, and now there's so many issues with it that there's not an easy answer to try to control these things. It involves a lot of everything from better background checks. One of our viewers wrote in when I asked this question online, and I agree with his answer 100%, so I want to get to that first right at the top of the show, because Craig wrote in and said, "This won't be popular with the GOP and the gun enthusiasts, but I would implement exhaustive background checks, eliminate the gun show loophole, ban assault rifles, bump stocks, and extended magazines. I'd also limit ammo sales and tax everything like crazy." I agree with Craig 100%. I think in this day and age, it's the 21st century, number one, better background checks. I think we definitely can do that. Number two, there's no excuse that you and I can go to Walmart and buy an assault rifle. Those should not be in the public's hands. Those are to kill people. They are not to defend yourself coming through the front door. And the Army's not coming through your front door anyhow unless you're some bad dude. I got more points, so I'm going to stop talking and let you jump in.
First of all, Craig nailed it 100%. Yeah. But it's interesting that you need more training to work at Burger King. I mean, yeah. What is that? We're so far behind. And we wonder why it keeps happening. It's totally preventable. Totally, and it has been for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of it is, and it's just, unfortunately, people in Washington don't seem to give a damn right now or want to do anything. And like Trump getting on TV and say, "Once again, I offer my prayers." Your prayers aren't doing shit. You're the leaders down there. Do something about it, but you're not. So, you know what? As long as you're getting money from the NRA, too, which is definitely going to sway your opinion, then nothing is going to change, and more people are going to die.
Topic. It's a political topic, so of course it's going to get political, but it's exactly right. It's human lives for money. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. These are fundraisers. Here's what our donors want. This is what you're going to vote for. Doesn't matter that 90% of people want the opposite at all.
Yeah. I'm going to make this point, though. It is a hard thing to try to control guns and regulate them, because look what happened when they tried to ban alcohol in the 20s. You had prohibition, you have the mafia. So if people want to sell guns somehow, they're going to get them. It's just like drugs. They want cocaine, they're going to find a way to get it. There is going to be a bad guys underground doing it. But at least you can eliminate some of them by taxing the hell out of it and definitely doing better background checks. Like that crazy kid that went up and shot that school last week. Okay, maybe the school had the information that the kid was a bad dude.
Wait, which one?
Yeah, which one? I don't even know which one anymore. But that information should be in some type of central database. If you go off half crazy, making crazy threats, then you shouldn't have a gun. That's the bottom line. And I know you'll probably try to find another way to get it, but then make it harder for them to get it.
Well, even the main one, the new high score guy that upped Columbine. I mean, they had to complain out to the FBI, but Florida couldn't do anything about it.
And look, I'm from Pennsylvania, grew up in Pennsylvania. Everybody back home has guns. I've shot guns. You grow up with guns. It's a very big hunting state. I'm not saying you don't have the right to have guns. Everybody has the right to bear arms to defend yourselves. Absolutely, 100% you should. But there definitely needs to be better regulation, and we're flat out just not doing that. And that's where all the problems are happening right now. But back home in Pennsylvania, it's okay for like a hunter to go out and shoot and hunt and have a gun. That's okay. I'm just saying these mass amounts of, rifles that are military-grade weapons that are getting in the wrong hands. And also the Second Amendment. What's that?
Another thing about that, that's not the fucking point. That was never the question. That was never the debate.
Yeah.
The debate was always about these ones that can kill. I mean, even here in Vegas, I hit almost 600 people in a matter of 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a problem. Not your right to shoot squirrels on your back porch. No one gives a fuck about that.
Right. Well, that comes down to the fact that the Second Amendment was written when guns were just as powerful as throwing rocks at somebody. The redcoats are coming. Those days, it never changed with the times. Just like a lot of things in Washington, they don't change with the times. Like building our infrastructure. They don't change the bridges to build up the ridge codes, with the passage of time, because it's all about money. Money, money, money. And money talks, as we both well know.
Money for blood.
That's what it's become. Let's take a few
Absolutely.
more... Unfortunately. Let's take a few more of our viewer comments because Richard writes in and says, need better background checks, need reporting of felons who try to buy guns, need more mental health regulations about purchasing guns. All of that said, if someone wants a gun, they'll get it, legally or illegal. Gun laws only work if you follow the law. I think that's what I just kind of said. I think Richard just kind of proved my point.
Well, tell that to Australia. I don't know if you guys are aware, but they had a mass shooting in 1996. Within 12 days, they had a nationwide buyback program, and they haven't had one since. So why don't you look at that before you have a strong opinion in the opposite direction?
Send prayers, send prayers. Well, at least they seem to figure out how to do it down there. Keith says, yes, I think it begins with banning assault rifles. After that, we need a massive marketing campaign to convince people of the facts. Countries with strong gun control and national health care that includes treatment for mental illness do not have a problem with gun violence. And the idea of a well-armed militia to defend yourself from an imaginary future evil government is just ridiculous. No one can stop our military from doing what it wants in this country. All the arguments that people have been taught to believe are in reality false. Keith is right. Just like I said, unless you're a bad dude, the military is not going to be showing up at your door trying to take your gun away.
Exactly, yeah. And the fantasy world thing that people get sold is crazy because they actually believe that shit.
It really is. It really is. And you see a lot of that on TV, too. These guys like, I'll die. You have to pry my gun into my cold, dead hands. Things like that. Well,
it's not happening. It hasn't happened, and it's not going to.
It's exactly right. It's not happening.
It's not the fucking point.
But here's one. Here's an interesting one. So Jolie, our boy Jolie's from Canada, and he said could always try being like Canada. So better gun control in Canada, I guess. Are the rules different up there? I'm sure they are.
Everywhere else. I don't know if you looked at the charts. We have 4% of the population, and all of the mass shootings.
Yeah. It's frightening to think about that. M. Najafi, now he's from Iran. He's from Iran. He says, in Iran, we don't have gun shop or something. If you want to be a hunter, you should go to Army and pass all training and a lot of paperwork and pass all security permission. And after all of that, can go buy a hunting crossbow or hunting gun. You can't handle a gun in the city or someplace where just in the jungle and hunt places. And specifically, people don't like guns here. Well, it's Iran. I'm pretty certain that they're strict with guns. They're strict with everything in Iran.
Yeah, but I mean, that's basically what we've been talking about the whole time, is just set some kind of parameter. Have some training. Don't hand it out like Pez.
No, definitely not. Our last comment comes from Mr. Pizarro, and he says, overall gun control does more harm than good. Restricting law-abiding citizens from firearms will make it easier for failure when regulated militias need to go against evil that threatens the security of a free state. Criminals have guns. We need to protect our people. So he's on the other side of the argument saying, you know what, maybe they're doing a little bit too much and everybody deserves to have a gun. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, they should arm the kids so the next time that a school shooting happens, they can defend themselves, or the lunch lady, or the counselor, or one of the teachers, because you know how stable they are.
Yeah.
And then that way, when the cops get there, all they have to worry about is crossfire.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
That's a really good answer, guy.
It's frightening to know that that's actually what it could come down to. But what it comes down to for the argument on this web show is our poll. We asked you guys your opinion online. How do you feel the U.S. government is doing on gun control? No surprise here. 68% says they aren't doing enough. No kidding there. 16% I'm not sure. 11% they're doing a good job. And 5% shockingly said they should butt out. I'm not surprised about that. It seems to be, people really are calling for gun control in this day and age. They want it. They're asking for it, so we got to get it. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button down below, though, because we're not going to solve this debate on this episode, but we're glad for those of you that wrote in. And on Thursdays, kicking back at Jersey Joe, I'm wearing a Comes Jersey for a reason, because we're talking about bad Chicago mover experiences. That's right. These are people that had horror stories online, from a company that stole a girl's credit card to buy pizza to a moving company that showed up flat out drunk. That's Thursday on Kicking Back Jersey Joe. Make sure you watch it. And this was a tough one, Joel. It was a hard, it's a hard debate, a hard topic, but everybody's talking about it. So I think it's something we do need to address. And I have one more question for you, though. I found an article online where there's a school in Missouri that's still having a raffle right now for an AR-15 rifle. What do you think about this school in Missouri having a raffle for a rifle? Is this a good idea or not?
You already know what I think about this shit.
What do you think?
Yeah, it. Yeah.
It just doesn't seem, the article says the school, this whole thing started before the whole, school shooting happened. But I know, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, duh, hello. Yeah. You're asking for trouble doing this like this. And maybe it's bad timing. Maybe next time you should have a raffle for a $100 Olive Garden coupon or something like that. That's the way it is. But hey, I want to thank our live viewers for watching the show today. Jersey Joe here, Eye on the Box over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time